to Rozzi from the second row, and it's a special edition. We're interviewing candidates who are going for council at large. We've already have interviewed Rich Russell. We've interviewed John Regal, and with us today is Nilson Rosario. And welcome, and tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you for having me here. Beautiful facility. I love how it looks. Nilson Rosario, that's me. I would probably need a whole podcast episode just to talk about myself, but I'll give you the gist of it. Around the age of 11 and 12 years old, I was always in trouble. I was a troublemaker in the schools.
You seem like you would. No.
Yeah. Very respectful to all my teachers, though. Always, and to all my elders, always respected. But always in fights. I got expelled for starting a food fight one time. Just doing the wrong thing. And a close friend of my mother, Maria Cava, that works at the police station for a long time, she brought me to play football to try to get me out of trouble. And it worked. I started turning things around, but to a certain extent, I was still not as focused during the off season, so I wasn't much of a student. I was only trying to be an athlete, and that's just not enough to get by. You need to be the student first. Fast forward a few years later, my mother has a daycare, and she had a student named Angel in her daycare, and reminded me a lot of myself. So I took him to play football. And they needed coaches to help out volunteer. I was 2 years out of high school at Northern Essex. And I volunteered, I started coaching, started helping him. And I remember that just football wasn't enough, you needed more. So I pushed him to do the more and to do the extra. And what I came to realize, there was a bunch of Nilsons on that team. You know, a lot of kids with single mothers, and started helping and giving back to them. And as you do that, you get involved in the community, and you just keep growing, and always been giving back. And that's how my whole journey started. Always been that friend that people call, where do I register to vote? Hey, this happened, where do I advocate for this? How do I fight this ticket? Always been around, and that's just who I am. I like to say an advocate from the city that likes to give back, that always been around, and it's time to take things to the next level and go for city council.
Okay, good. Hey. Okay, now comes the hard part. You have to answer these questions. So the first question is, what are your thoughts on the LCAT/City of Lawrence situation and the $800,000 that the city has from the PEG account?
So my thoughts on that is we need to get to the point, and we need to make something happen. The money is there. Our residents are paying Comcast for it. They're paying
Verizon.
And Verizon. They're paying the city to get it done. There's three parts. We have the public schools, community, and government. There's no community part to it. And whether it's somebody you want or not, whoever has the qualifications to do it should have that, because it's being paid for until you can find somebody until then. But right now, there's none.
Blank channel.
So you need to find out who meets all the requirements and who's gonna get it, and somebody needs to get it until you reevaluate all of it later on. I don't know, I have two theories. I don't know I already know the city councilors do not know much about it, because during the budget meeting, it showed. The IT director does not know about it, it showed during that meeting. So who knows, are they pretending they don't know because they don't wanna give it and they're trying to set up to be able to get it to somebody? Or do they really not know? Find out who knows about it, bring them in, let's fix it, let's get this out there. Our people need it. Not everybody's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I
was door knocking in District E. I met John. He came out and that was his first question. Is the meeting gonna be on, and the community stuff, whatever happened to it? And I tried to explain to him about what's going on with the contract, and he said, that stinks. I don't know how to use YouTube or none of that. I asked him, I'll show you on your phone. And no, I don't want to.
I don't know if you've noticed a lot when you go around campaigning, that especially the older people, they don't know Facebook, they don't know YouTube, they don't have computers. They just want to turn on the TV, turn on Channel 8 and watch the flag raising, the parade, the feast that's coming up. Things that happen in the city, they don't have it. And that's what the people want.
Correct.
And that's what the third floor took away. And people are angry. But then when you tell them that they're still paying on their cable bills, that makes me even angrier.
I hear you. We need to find a solution to it and get it on. And I understand times are changing, and I'm big on that. That's why my campaign is so much on social media, because times are changing.
Yeah.
But do we still have people that rely on that? And most importantly, they're paying for it.
Right.
So Let's
Right.
get them with.
And
And then we figure it out after. We'll figure it out after.
It's mostly the older people who don't want to learn computers. They don't,
It's
you know,
not fair
it's,
to
yeah.
them.
No, it's not fair. They want to be able to just turn on channel 8 and say, oh, here you go. You know, there's the parade, or, oh, there's the feast, look at, you know. That they can't, things they can't attend, they have.
I hear you.
You know, and we're still, like LCAT is still filming about 95% of the things in the city. The 5% is when they don't know, because the communication is not there to say, okay, it's such and such a day, there's gonna be this happening. You either find out the night before 10 o'clock or that morning an hour before. How do you do a schedule? That's what really makes it sad.
That too, yeah.
Sad. Yeah. Okay, now this is right up your alley, educational issues. Should the city attempt to home rule petition the school committee back to the way it was?
I believe that they should. We should be able to. If that's what the people want, let's do that. But I'm also curious to see how it's going to turn out, right? My thing, I don't have much hope on it for the way that it is, but it's already something that we're going to have to adjust to and live with, because it's in place. And let's see how it goes, and we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Knowing the city council has no control over the Lawrence Public School budget, other than giving them what they want, what would you suggest to give better financial control over the Lawrence Public Schools?
Using the school committee system the way it's supposed to be. I know earlier we were talking about my good friend Quinn Garnell. So they're talking about the 3 appointed would be one based on financial, education, and finance laws.
Right.
So if that's the case, if we have the right people in there that get sent down, the counselors appoint the right person, like they vote them in. Make sure it's the right people that meet those qualifications, and then that'll be sort of a way to control what's happening. Not control it, but having the right person there could definitely help. For example, Quinn is the perfect candidate for the education piece of it. He's running, but if he wasn't, and they put the application on, if he applies for it, he'll be the perfect person. But would he be the person they would pick? That's the real question.
Yeah, I know. Should the city council have more control over the school system's curriculum?
As an educator, I say no. I don't think so. We wouldn't want some of our electees deciding what our students are learning. And I say that jokingly around, but it's a different role that shouldn't be on a city councilor's plate.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it, especially with the curriculums.
Right. Well, then I just heard they changed the curriculum 2 weeks before school started in Lawrence.
I have somebody that's in PD right now till 3:15 that were complaining about that. They're learning something brand new. So
How do you do that 2 weeks before school starts? That's ridiculous.
yeah, teachers should be prepared for that. And that happens very often. Teachers get accustomed to something and used to it, and then they switch it up on them, which is like you're losing a lot of teachers because of that. Because
But wouldn't you think you would switch it up like a month before so the teachers can learn the new curriculum and?
But 2 weeks before it's tough, and 2 weeks before is summertime, so.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, do you enjoy your summer or do you learn your new curriculum?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
That's true. That's true.
I didn't know that though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we're going into public safety issues. First one is quality of life issues: noise, public drinking, and drug use. What is your thought on?
It's the never-ending cycle in Lawrence when it comes to those things, and it's just how we say we need more law enforcement. So we need to budget the right way. That way we can make those things happen and enforce our laws, even if we have to revisit them. But we need to enforce what we have. But with the calls that come in and all the amount of stuff, sometimes you gotta drive right by that house that's blasting the music and drinking outside.
Yeah.
Because there's other important things to do. So, yeah, it's something we do need to. I feel we need to enforce it more, but we need the body and the right people and move certain budgets and financial around to be able to get to do that.
We always said the police and fire should have a hefty budget to do things because they're basically.
I think safety is number one with everything.
Oh yeah. Okay, now we have talk about homeless issues. The out-of-towners abusing the system, getting out-of-towners, home communities to help Lawrence pay for various benefits.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Okay, so we have obviously the homeless issue.
Yeah.
So the out-of-towners abusing the system, like the police drive the people into Lawrence, they're yours. And getting the out-of-towners home communities to help Lawrence pay for various benefits for the homeless.
This is such a deep topic that that's just one small aspect of it. I think even beyond what local government and just the system that is in place, it needs a lot more work. I have people in the streets right now. One of my best friends, I lost him out there. And we try everything we could do. My close friend works for Leahy. We bring people in, they come out. It's just so easy to leave rehab centers. And the drugs out there just need to be attacked. I say eliminate the drugs, which is hard. And I have a theory that they don't want drugs gone. If there's no drugs, there's no court system. It's just bigger than it's bigger than us, but
Yeah, it
it's
really
just such a
is.
big problem that it's just so hard to attack.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Okay, now let's turn to personnel issues. How well should a candidate's resume match up with job skill requirements? And who makes that decision? we all know this is...
It has to line up. It has to line up. We need to make sure the job descriptions that are listed align to the job, and when you get interviewed, those people, it needs to match. If not, you can't do it. I'm big on experience, big on my resume. I am where I am today because of the hard work I have put in, everything I've learned, and that's where I'm at. I'm a dean now, an administrator, because of everything I've done and learned, not because of who I knew.
Right. Okay, then next one. Should friends and or relatives of politicians be given a favored status in job selection?
Probably not a favored, but recommended is fine. As long as they meet the requirements from the previous question, right? Because if you might know somebody that's perfect for this job, and then you could you could vouch for them and put them on your resume as a reference.
Right.
All that for sure, but we shouldn't use our positions to favor people and get them in and as a favor, like, hey, yeah, this is the person, let's favor him and forget everybody else. But it happens to me when I applied for the Lawrence High football head coach position. That interview, we were sitting there, I actually ended the interview like that, like, listen, I see where this is going, because I had to interview an assistant principal. You kind of know who you want. And when I'm sitting there, I felt the energy. I even told them, hey, just do second rounds. Can I be part of this interview committee? That's how much it cares for me.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be the guy. Can I be part of the interview committee and forget my application before we could choose the right person? Because I already saw where it was going. So it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Okay. Now the last.
Sadly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Should the city be required to know exactly where transfers are coming from and exactly where the budget transfer is going, and why is the budget transfer being made? We keep getting these transfers money, from this account to that account.
It's
But
just,
no.
I don't know too much about the process there.
Okay.
It's all over the place, you're saying?
Yeah, so they say we're transferring money from this account to go into that account.
Or
But
without
why-
saying for what or the reasoning?
Right.
That's interesting. Transparency is everything. I think it should be out there. I don't know what's in our bylaws and how they go about it right now, but I think we could look into that. I gotta look into it. I'll probably do some research after this and talk to other people and see. But it's the city's money is not. Like, it should be.
Yeah.
It should be. We should know
Yeah.
where it's transferring
Yeah.
at all
exactly.
times.
Yeah.
Receipts at least after you purchase something. Have all that. It has to be. That's the transparency
There's
part.
a lot
of it.
of transfer money from free cash to here, or from this account to that account, it's just.
And
but
we need
that's
to build.
the
We
way.
need to build trust. If we're transparent about those type of things, we could lead to more stuff. But with things that are happening, the way things been in the past, now we don't believe in it. I don't believe. We go back to the school committee. I don't believe in the process right now because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we got to start eliminating things and being more transparent, being true to us, for we could believe in these
Right.
next step with the school committee. That's just an example, but
Right,
with other
right.
things, yeah.
Okay, now, should developers be forced to mention possible political or financial connections with city officials when they prepare various information during the permitting process?
So if you're like bidding to, like, say, fix the fields, like, yeah, I think, and if you know somebody, yeah, for sure. That goes back to the transparency part.
Right.
I would appreciate more if let's say one of my friends, close friends, when I'm in City Hall and one of my close friends applies for a DPW position, I would appreciate him having me as a reference and being transparent with the people that he knows me, and then to later find out when he gets his position, oh, look at his Sweet 15 pictures. He was with Nilson. His son's birthday party, look at Nilson. You know, and then
Yeah.
that's going to be all fishy. But from the beginning, if we're transparent with it, then there's nothing to hide if you're doing the right thing.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of
I
transparency.
think those are the same thing as the previous question. Those are the little things we need to do right.
Yeah.
That way we could have trust and go with the other things. And also friends need to respect friends, because give me one position in City Hall.
Probably, well,
Like, again, this is
Yeah.
just for an example.
DPW. There's
Okay,
like-
so a
yeah.
DPW worker, if my friend never done anything towards that work and was always working behind a computer
Yeah,
at desk
yeah.
job making calls, he better not put me as a reference. Respect me,
Yeah.
that I'm your friend. Don't do that to me, because I'm going against that, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's how I see that.
Okay, and now the last is, tell us why we should vote for you.
Well, since day one, my mission has been to be the people's voice. It's driven by passion, trust, and the desire for change. We aim to promote growth for everyone, support our youth, and ensure everyone's voices is heard. And by ensuring people's voices is heard, I just have fresh ideas, different stuff I want to bring. One of the things I actually did want to talk to you about, so it's a good time to bring it up, is something called like the TPC, the People's Council. I remember going to your meeting in District D, going to La Plante, Susan?
Yep.
And District
Colonial Heights,
yep.
yep.
And then going to the District A one, they were months apart, and it was the same information, right? So we wanted, probably we could get all those head people and put them all together, even if it's a live, you know, have people join and let's discuss certain issues. It's taking
Well,
the second role to
yeah.
the next level, because
Well,
you're
the thing
kind of
is,
doing it.
with the neighborhood associations, I used to meet monthly except for June and July.
Mhm.
July and August. And then after COVID, a lot of the neighborhood associations stopped because, Mount Vernon used to have a huge membership, and they just stopped. So I've begun some of them. When we came back, I was asked if I could do it quarterly, which I do. I do it March, June, September, and December. Colonial Heights, they do it 3 times a year. They do it February, May, and September.
Okay.
Tower Hill used to do it every month. Now she's going to be doing it quarterly. She will be having a meeting in September. It's hard to get people from this area to that area to, whatever. At one point when we first started LNAP, the Lawrence Neighborhood Association Partnership, we had a huge meeting down at the senior center just to let people know about neighborhood associations,
Yeah.
where you can join. And we may eventually do that again, but right now, not, and I have to say, District A used to be, if there were 10 people there, that was a lot. And Jim Ross, who from LCAT, is the one that started it, but it was more like a social club for him.
Yeah.
Now, the last meetings that Fidelina and Dave have had have been phenomenal.
Yeah, actually.
And I asked
Mm-hmm.
Fidelina if she was going to continue. She said yes. I said good, because they need something up there.
Yep.
Wendy, I think, had a meeting, whatever. C and D are together usually.
Okay.
And then I have my area, and then Sula Plant has Colonial Heights. Like I said, I have mine on Monday night. This one has it Wednesday night. Sue has it on Saturdays. And you're welcome to go to the other meetings, but people mostly stay in the neighborhood because they have questions about that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's,
No, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
and those should keep going. Thank you for
Yeah.
having those. They're good. But I really like, if as a candidate and a
But
potential
see,
city
at Council at
councilor, I
Large,
really
you have to go to every
to all of
meeting.
them. And in local, participation is what I want. I want to grow local government. I need people to be involved. Like we need to understand it's our voices. It's what we want. And there's a lot of common thing. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook, but there's not people showing up to the voting tools.
And that's just it. People have a lot to say, but they won't go out and vote.
So if we could grow this participation with people, maybe we'll have higher election numbers. And I just want the people to come in and bring solutions. People go up and speak for 2.5 minutes. Russell always does, for example, and he says what he has to say. I want to hear him elaborate on that stuff, what ideas he has. I don't know it all. I want to know, you said about A, B, and C. How can we keep going with A, B, and C? Keep going on that stuff. So if we could create something, that's like a thought I have, the People's Council. We could change the name, but it's just people, the advocates in the community that are together, that where we could sit down, even if it's once every 3 months.
Right.
But the important issues are going to come up, and we could prep and knowing how to talk when we go up to the councilors, to the city hall chambers, for public speaking, and getting people ready for that, and then giving us solutions, because now it's going to change my point of view on how I'm going to vote for certain things, because it's really what the people want.
We have had a lot of change. We've had a new fire chief, a new police chief.
Yeah.
Now getting getting things involved and all that. It's going to be an interesting.
Yeah.
Now.
And it would have been cool during that process too. Like, I don't know if you guys went to the parking.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the library.
Oh yeah.
So something similar to that, where we could actually go talk about big decisions coming up and listen to people, and for more than 2.5 minutes. And, and we're controlled and ruled, but we need to be able to do stuff like that.
But if you notice, how many people showed up at the parking thing? Have you heard any more about it?
Never.
Okay, that's what I mean.
But that's something I want to offer when I'm in office. I want to do something that way. What you guys came to tell me, you could see results on it, and that's going to encourage them to come back the next time, because they see there's actually
like I keep saying, South Lawrence never had parking meters. Okay, whatever. Now all of a sudden they put parking meters. Would you put a parking meter in front of a church? Seriously, St. Patrick's Church is a parking meter. In front of a funeral home? And then if you drive between 8 in the morning and 6 at night, drive up South Broadway, you won't find very many cars on the street.
My car broke down 2 nights ago, and I had to find a way to get out there, because starting at 8 in the morning, it was going to be a ticket every 4 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, and actually that's why one of the reasons I had to reschedule too. But
I'm just saying. So if you notice, there is no cars between 8 and 6 parked on South Broadway, because people, they don't want to, and they put parking meters in front of homes, residential. It doesn't make sense. South Lawrence had just gotten over the gas explosion, just gotten over COVID, and now the businesses are trying to come back, and then we're giving them parking meters. That just did not make sense at all.
We got to revisit that for sure.
It definitely needs to be revisited, and definitely.
And how long is left on the contract? Like about 3 years?
Possibly, I don't know.
All right, I'm not sure, but that's something that would be a great space right there, where people we call me and revisit it, compared to just complaining about it. What's your thoughts on it? What's your idea? And we might get ideas. Maybe a lot of people might agree to it, and
like I said, we did it. When LNAP first started, we had a huge meeting, and for everyone to come, and I think it was Roy Vask at the time was chief. I think Brian Moriarty of police. Brian Moriarty was the fire chief. And we had, and it was great. I think Dan Rivera was mayor, and it was great because they all talked and spoke, and people asked questions, and maybe that's something LNAP can do again to get more people involved. You guys
call it LNAP?
Yeah, it's Lawrence Neighborhood Association Partnership, and
I like it.
We're a 501c3. We funnel the money comes for the fireworks. We handle the money for the fireworks from contributors. National Night Out. We do that.
I like it. Win, lose, no matter what happens, you have my support with that.
Thank you, because we do need to get more people involved, and I think we need to get more younger people involved.
Yes.
It's more of the younger people that need to be there. I know there was.
I tell my friends, we're the adults now. We have to come in here and make this happen. We're the adults now. We have to, And just to finish that question, why vote for me? So I'm me. You're gonna get who I am. I'm not your average politician. I'm over here in Jordan's. I just got out of work, rushed over here. I made things happen, and we're here for the city. I'm here for everybody. I pray every night to God to keep me this way and not change my ways, because there's a lot of dirty stuff that happens in politics. I don't want to be a politician. I want to do things right, but in order to do it,
you also have a child too,
yes,
so you
have to be a politician. Yeah, my son's starting school in 3 years.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
I saw him dancing at
He's
the
a lot.
fireworks.
I got my eyes right now, like, oh, I gotta get some nap.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is.
Saw
He's very.
him dancing at the fireworks.
He
was
likes
cute.
music. Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah,
baby,
but like you said, but yeah. So hopefully, September 16th is the primaries. So please get out and vote.
Let's get out there and vote.
Everyone needs your vote. Everyone, if you don't like something, go out and vote. You can change it. You're the only one that can change it.
Correct. And that's something I talk to a lot of people about. A lot of people feel like every vote don't count.
But it does.
It does, especially in the local. And I think it separates when it comes to
higher.
Yeah, but in the local level, every vote counts.
Yeah, it does. So hopefully, like I said, you'll go on the 16th, and then see you on the 4th.
Yeah, go out and vote, everybody, September 16th, and let's get back.
Tell everyone, everyone needs to get out and vote. That's what we need. I'm
end the way, call it, go for the last three. Rosario, Russell, the 3 R's.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The last three.
That.
Let's push the last three.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea.
For the name for
that should be a thing. Campaign thing. The last three.
Let's push for the last three.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, of course.